Welcome back to the channel. This is Gillis TV here today, folks. And boy, oh boy, do I love the MLB offseason. And if you do too, make sure you hit that subscribe button as we're on top of mostly all the news around the offseason. Free agency, player rumors going somewhere, teams interested in players, those kind of rumors, the news of if someone gets suspended, someone's injured, all that. That is here on the channel. And today we got more news involving the San Francisco Giants. Just did a video on them that they're interested in Mitch Haniger. Now, reports are coming out that the Giants have been frequently speculated as a fit for Aaron Judge, but their offseason won't entirely revolve around him. According to Suzanne Sluicer of the San Francisco Chronicle, the club will be looking at two outfielders this winter and have checked in on both Brandon Nimmo and CODY Bellinger, who both those guys have been linked to many teams. They're up there on a lot of teams' interest as a top tier per se to get signed. What sets Nimmo and Bellinger apart from most of the other free agent outfielders is the ability to play a competent center field. I know by Sluicer, the Giants' outfield defense graded out poorly in 2022. The club used a hodgepodge of different options throughout the year, including Dugar, Dubin, Slater, Yastrzemski, Gonzalez, Chisholm, Fairchild, Peterson, Johnson, and Brinson. Defensive runs saved pegged them at a minus 44, easily the worst in baseball, with the Pirates next on the list at minus 33, outs above average. Gave them a minus 25. Tied with the Phillies for last, only ultimate zone rating was gentler as their 21.8 in the category was 29th, edging the White Sox. That's a pretty unanimous assessment that says this is the area the club needs to upgrade, and having a reliable guy to pencil in every day would certainly be appealing for the Giants. There are a handful of players who can provide help with the defensive side of things, such as Brinson, Jackie Bradley Jr., Brett Phillips, or Bradley Zimmer, but they would likely be liabilities at the plate. Nimmo and Bellinger, however, have the potential to provide on both sides of the ball. Through Bellinger's offensive performance has been in quite an extended rut ever since injuring his shoulder during the ill-advised celebration in the 2020 postseason. He seemed lost at the plate. He mashed his way to MVP honors in 2019 by hitting 47 home runs and batting a 305 average. His production slipped a bit in 2020 before he just hit a buck 93, and over the 2021 and 2022 combined. Whether he gets his offense back on track will be a key question, but he should have the decent floor thanks to his speed and defense. He was considered league's average by DRS and UZR in 2022, while OAA was more enthused, giving him a mark for 6 for the last year. Both players are represented by Boros and were entering free agency as talented players, but with the question mark that about their consistency, the Giants and Rendon agreed to 2-year deal, but with the Southpaw afforded to opt out to return to open market after the season. Bellinger is apparently just looking for a straight 1-year pact, but perhaps the Giants will be the ones to step up and make that happen. Nimmo in the case is less mysterious, at least in terms of his offense. He's been a fairly consistent at the plate, having an OBP of at least 3.367 in 6 straight seasons, while keeping his WRC at 134 or higher over the past 3. He had some durability concerns earlier in his career, but has only had one significant injury absence over the past 3 years, which was due to a finger contusion in 2021. The defensive reviews are mixed, with both DRS and UZR giving him negative numbers in 2020 and 2022, but positive marks in 2021. OAA went negative in 2020, but has been positive the past 2 seasons. Wolves from year to year with defensive metrics aren't unheard of, and it seems fair to accept Nimmo to provide at least average glove work up the middle. The problem with the stronger profile in recent seasons is that it certainly costs more than Bellinger. MLB TR projected him at 110 million over 5 years, or 22 million per season. Their payroll is currently around 133 million in the estimated of roster resource. That will be shy of last year's 155 million opening day figure and their franchise record of 200 million. Whether they prioritize Nimmo or Bellinger, they will have competition. The Blue Jays are known to be interested in both Nimmo and Bellinger, while the Mets would like to bring Nimmo back to the Queens. So some fielding options for the Giants, which watching their games last year, outfield was the main problem to this team. They did wind up going 81 and 81. Great and all. But if you don't have the outfield support to win those one-run games, if your outfielders are giving up a run a game, well, you change that. Your record last year is probably maybe 95 and whatever, and it works. You get 14 more wins just by adding some better outfield pieces. Now, like it said, I'm a Blue Jays fan. I hope the Blue Jays sign Nimmo or Bellinger. But when they said, well, there's Jackie Bradley Jr. and Bradley Zimmer, trust me, Bradley Zimmer you don't want in your lineup. Jackie Bradley's a hit or miss when it comes to it. Now we go look at their numbers here last year. We'll start with Brandon Nimmo with the Mets. 580 at bats, a 274 average, 16 home runs, 64 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. Over the career, he's had 1,973 at bats, 269 average, 63 home runs, 213 RBIs, and 23 stolen bases. Gives you good base on balls, or good base running, defensive wise, and offensive numbers. Last season for Bellinger, 504 at bats with a 210 average, 19 home runs, 68 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. Over the course of Bellinger's career, he's had 2,627 at bats with an average of 248, 152 home runs, 422 RBIs, and 62 stolen bases. Bellinger can steal bases. Bellinger brings that power hitting to you. Bellinger is also younger at 27 years old, whereas Brandon Nimmo, I believe, will be turning 29 this year. He is 29. He'd be turning 30 next year. So it really depends on what the Giants want. Do you want younger? You're probably paying more for Bellinger. Yes, his offensive numbers have been down a bit, but he still has that pop in his bat. Or do you get more defensive with Brandon Nimmo, who arguably is probably the best utility outfielder available right now? It is whatever the Giants want. But like the article said, the Blue Jays have interest in both. The Mets want to bring back Nimmo. There's been a lot of teams interested in Bellinger. You're going to have to pay if you want one or both of those if you're the Giants. We'll see what happens, but you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been Gillis TV here right on the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.